Welcome back to Mark Your Calendar. I'm your host, Kiana Patterson, and today I'm joined with Brian Thompson. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I know we're going to talk about the Virginia Black Film Festival this year. It is on February 19th through the 22nd in Williamsburg. So why did you choose Williamsburg this year? Because I know last year it was in Hampton.
Sure. Actually, Williamsburg chose me.
Okay.
So what happened is we had so much success in Hampton, and then the VA 250 celebration, it was just sort of perfect timing. And they had a need for an event of this magnitude, and it was sort of a perfect fit for many reasons. The logistics, the area, the historical significance, the tourist significance.
Absolutely.
And so just all came together.
I mean, the history is so rich there. And I know that the film festival is during Black History Month. I think it really does coincide very well. I know you said that they chose you, so that makes sense.
Yeah, it's interesting because the Black history there is also very significant. And sometimes it is overlooked. And so this gives us an opportunity to really speak to the world through the ancestors, if you will. Right?
Oh, I love that.
And so that's what we're doing. We have curated some of the best content that we could find. We had to reject a lot of stuff because you can only show so much, right? So we curated it down to things that projects that aligned with the values of the festival, which is Black excellence, past, present, and future. And then we did something unique, which is there were some projects that were based in Hampton Roads that we really felt should be evaluated sort of outside of the normal bounds, because what we really want to do is elevate wherever we are. We want to elevate the local content as well.
I love that. Oh, man. And you know, I'm from Newport News, so that you're just speaking my language here. So this is the website. This is where you can go and buy all the tickets and see the full list of all of the films, the short films, and the full films that you have. When you said you lived in Miami for a little while,
Sure.
and you were inspired almost to bring this back to Virginia, I appreciate you doing that, because sometimes people are like, there's nothing to do here. I don't know what to do. And you've created a very cool experience. Tell me about some of the features.
Absolutely. So I did, the Miami Web Series Festival I had ran from 2014 to 2024. And what happened was I found it was very enriching to do that. But there was something that was calling me. Now, my wife's family is from Hampton,
Okay.
so it was like a natural fit. But you get something special out of elevating the culture, right? And so some of that was almost supernatural in a way. And from the first time that we held the event on the campus of Hampton University, it was it was a success. And then we went from there to the American Theater, and this is the next logical step. So some of the projects that we have History Half Told is Untold, which was actually the winner. This is a non-competitive screening, and they were the winner of Best Historical Feature in 2024. And so we're also showing a number of other movies in all different genres, right? So the competitive films span from truly historical, from documentaries. We have comedies. We have some hilarious comedies. We also have some features that really are telling stories about Black life, Black love, Black history, and the dynamics that really showcase the fact that Black people are not just one thing, right? So you get to see Black people in situations and environments that Hollywood doesn't always show us.
That's real. I know that you sent us some pictures. This is from last year's event. And I see Chesapeake native Tim Reed there. I saw Kimba Smith, Clifton Powell. I know that he is the lead in your new movie. So you not only have curated this special event, you are also an actor. You also direct. You do it all.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I created this. Virginia Black Film Festival is a community. It's more than just an event, right? And so what happens is people come to the festival, they start talking, they start creating opportunities, which is exactly what I really wanted, right? You can't really create in silos. We have to unite as a community,
Absolutely.
and that's what makes us stronger. So, practicing what I preach, Clifton Powell was our Lifetime Achievement Awardee in 2024. And when he came to the festival and we started talking, he realized at that time I had made 12 feature films, and he had seen my work, and he appreciated my work. And of course, I appreciated his work. I mean, this is Pinky we're talking about, right? And so many other films where he's played, I saw that he had range, right? Martin Luther King and just so many things. And so a man who can go from Martin Luther King to Pinky, that's telling me I need to work with you. So, I went to the distribution company that also invests in my films and said, hey, we want to make this movie. And we made a deal. And next thing you know, Blowback was born.
Wow, that is remarkable. And I know you're going to show Blowback during the film festival.
Yes, we will. So we're showing a director's cut. So Blowback is now streaming, but the director's cut, you get to see something a little bit unique, and also I'll be there personally. So there's always that. So we wanted to make sure that we show Blowback this year, so that people can kind of understand this process. I'll also be doing another talk where I'm highlighting the work of our 2025 winners, which is called Return of the Mac. So Return of the Mac.
I saw that.
Yeah. And so that movie, ironically, also has Clifton Powell in it. It also has Dougie Fresh and a number of other really prominent actors. And the thing about that is they got a distribution deal shortly after the festival with a major distribution company. They're coming out in theaters. And a lot of times it's really hard to get theater distribution. And so we're going to talk about how they evolved and what happened and what lessons can independent filmmakers today take from the story of their work.
So this is not only just a film festival. You come and see works of art. You're getting the panel experiences. You're going to be able to network. I was showing some of the, smaller venues that you guys are going to be able to meet and talk and learn. I think that's really incredible.
In some ways, that's the most important part, right? I mean, you get inspiration from knowing that something is possible.
Yes.
And I think that a lot of people, and especially, if you're in a community that has limited resources, you don't always see people winning. So you need to be in a place where the people that are winning are telling you how to win.
Yes.
That's really at the core, the essence of the community I'm trying to create.
I love that. I really, really love it. And I think it's timely. I know this year we are celebrating 250 years here in our nation. And what better way to start that than to have a Black Film Festival in Williamsburg? Wow, incredible. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I'm really excited about it. I mean, it's come together, and it's interesting how you can get on a glide path and then realize you're not in control anymore. That the universe is really pushing you in a certain direction and molding you. And you can run from it, but if you run from it, you're running from your destiny.
Wow.
It's definitely a lot of work, but it is a labor of love, and it's coming to fruition in amazing ways.
So people can go on the website and purchase tickets, correct?
Absolutely.
So you can purchase like a festival pass for the entire time and then just kind of mosey around, or can you purchase like individual events?
So both. You can get day passes, you can get a whole festival pass, or you can get a pass to individual events. So there's a lot of events, and if you go to everything, you will be tired, but you will be thrilled, right? And so, I told you about all the screenings, but we also have a number of really interesting panels. We have a screen combat panel where you'll get to see people actually doing fight scenes on stage, and then you get to talk to Grandmaster Bam Johnson, and he'll talk about his experiences. He actually did some of the choreography for the movie Blowback also.
Oh,
Yeah, we filmed it half in the U.S. and half in Spain with the other action director, George Karja.
That is so cool. So you've been able to travel all over the world and really pursue this goal. And I know that you said you were stationed or you were in the Army.
Right.
And you were stationed in Virginia. So that's really cool.
Yeah, I actually got my first film idea while I was deployed in Iraq.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I came back to Virginia. I was stationed in Fort Eustis at the time. So I came back to Virginia. I found some local independent filmmakers who knew more than me about the process. And I learned from them. I had already taken some acting classes in Virginia Beach, and things were kind of on the track. I knew that I wanted to pursue this when I got out of the military, but who knew it would get this far?
Who knew that it would get this far and then you would create space for others? That is amazing. Truly.
I think that's the most rewarding part.
Absolutely.
When I first started making films, it was genuinely about, like, so many doors had closed on me that I can honestly say it was genuinely about proving that I could do it, that I personally could do it.
Yes.
But the problem is, when you start down this path of making films, you quickly realize you can't do anything without a team. And so everything you do and accomplish is connected to those team members that helped you get to the next level. And for me, that's been the thing that has pushed me to the next level, because every time you make a film, I've seen so many independent filmmakers that don't get the project done.
Right.
And so, everyone that put their blood, sweat, and tears into that project doesn't get the satisfaction of seeing themselves on screen, not even one time. So always dedicated myself to making sure I finish what I start and making sure that I give those, even if I'm paying them, it doesn't matter. Like, part of the contract is making sure that they are seen and that they're moving to the next level.
Wow.
So it's finish what you start. It's make sure that once you have that project in hand, you don't just drop the ball. You don't get sidetracked and say, well, I just want to move to the next thing. You have to promote it. And that's a new job in and of itself, right?
Oh, yeah,
and so
sure.
I take that on. All of those things are in my head. But as you can see, it started off as just me, and then suddenly, so many years later, I don't even remember me half the time, right?
Wow.
It's really about
It's
the
like,
team.
I was in that one? Okay. I did want to show, you have a trailer for the festival here, and I didn't show that yet, but this is just the location, some pictures, the flyer up there. When you look at this body of work, the trailer, what goes through your mind? What do you want people to take away from this festival?
Well, that it's only going to get better. It's only going to get bigger. It's only going to get better. This is what you're seeing is really a microcosm of what filmmaking is. If you dedicate yourself to the process, it's going to continue to get better. But dedicating your process is also about having a certain amount of what I call artistic resilience, right? So, you're going to put it out there. People may not get it at first. You will make mistakes along the way, and you have to be resilient enough to say, look, this is where I am now, and keep watching, because it's going to get better and better and better. And that has been my reality, and with the festivals and with my film. And I think that that's the one thing that I really want to give to all the independent filmmakers that come through my festival, is just that sense of it's going to get better if you hold on and do the work.
And start. Like, it's important to start.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for coming on Mark Your Calendar. I will be there because you just sold me on it. You sold me on all things. I'm like, wait, do I want to act? Like, I need to pursue all of this. So I will be there. It is, tell me the dates again and tell me the location.
Absolutely.
And we'll get it going.
So it is February 19th through the 22nd at the Kimball Theater, which is located in Colonial Williamsburg on Duke of Gloucester Street. Tickets are available at virginiablackfilmfestival.com. There is still time to become a sponsor up until February 6th, and get your tickets before they sell out, because they will.
All righty. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. It was a lovely conversation, and I will see you in February.
Thank you for having me. This is great. I appreciate you.
Welcome back to Mark Your Calendar. We are continuing the conversation about the Virginia Black Film Festival. Now, one part that we really want to highlight is the fact that there is the Lifetime Achievement Award for an actress that we all love so much. We know her as Aunt Viv in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but her real name is Daphne. So tell me why you thought it was important to honor her.
So I'm so excited about having Daphne Maxwell Reid come and be our Lifetime Achievement Awardee for multiple reasons. First of all, her history is so interesting. You know, out before The Fresh Prince, she was actually the first Black woman on Glamour magazine cover. And when she was telling me this, you know, we talked, and as she was explaining this to me, I realized, wow, she is really the one, right? And not just because she's a successful model, but because in addition to being on Viv, she also broke a lot of stereotypes, and she had to fight through. She's like a civil rights leader in a lot of ways, because she had to fight through a lot of injustice and racial discrimination. When she was at Northwestern, she was the first Black beauty queen.
Wow.
So she's her history. People just don't understand how deep it goes, right? And so I'm really excited. She's going to do a Q&A on the 21st, which is Saturday at 4 p.m. And then the awards gala starts after that. So I can't wait.
So she is going to be honored. I know last year you're going to invite the honorees from years past, correct?
We are. So we like to do that at every awards gala, is bring in the honorees from years past so people really understand the direction of this. And also, we can never really honor them enough, right? These are people who among other things, they inspire. And inspiration is the one thing that so many people lack, really, of all cultures, right? You know, people nowadays in this time that we're living in, really this decade, inspiration has just gone down more and more. So that's the thing that we are trying to inject into society, and particularly in Black society and among filmmakers who craft the narratives that inspire people.
Absolutely. I know I've covered stories in the past where community organizers say this generation has lost hope. So that is so cool that you are providing a space where people can leave feeling hopeful, you know, and excited and inspired. So that's awesome.
Yeah, because if you don't have hope, you don't focus. You'll never lock in if you can't honestly believe that you can win.
Absolutely.
So my goal whenever I talk to the next generation is always you can't lock in until you really process what I'm telling you, which is it is possible.
Yep. And it can happen for you.
Absolutely.
Very good. I know that there's a special master class, and it kind of relates to this conversation about history and being inspired. Talk with me about the person who is going to be putting on this master class.
Yeah. So Antonio Charity he's a filmmaker, and he's also an actor who went to Hollywood, lived in Hollywood a number of years, appeared in quite a few big name productions, right? And he has moved back to Virginia, and he's going to be giving a master class on acting for film. But what's interesting about Antonio Charity is that he's a member of the Charity family, which was one of the first free Black families in Virginia. So we're going to talk to him about that. We're going to talk to him about the documentary that he has in the works. And more importantly, we're going to talk about what was his experience when he went to Hollywood, how was he received, and what lessons can he give to the next generation about how you make a living, how things are right now, because the industry is changing so much, right?
Yeah.
So people have more questions than answers, and our goal is to get them closer to the answers that they're looking for.
Oh, yeah. It's so different, especially after the strike that we saw a couple of years ago. Now, all of these mergers. So it is definitely a
Absolutely.
changing landscape that we're seeing
Yeah.
everywhere,
Yeah.
not just in film. Anything else you want people to know about the film festival and why people should be inspired to buy a ticket?
Absolutely. So I think big picture here, we're living in a world of uncertainty, and we need to elevate independent stories so that we can get to a place where people are shaping what the future looks like. So, speaking truth to power, showcasing non-traditional imagery, right? And making sure that people understand that there is a truth. It's hard to find truth sometimes, right? But the fact is, there is a truth. You just have to be in search of it. And when we stop searching for truth, that is when our entire culture just decays. And we can't let that happen.
Absolutely. We have to find the truth. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your time, and I will see you in February because I'm inspired.
I can't wait. Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Well, if you're looking for somewhere to go, you want to try out some new restaurants, it is Restaurant Week in 2 cities here in Hampton Roads. In Newport News, more than 40 restaurants are on the list of you to try out all the way until Sunday. Now, they'll have some exclusive deals and different desserts that you can try out as well, in addition to some meals. And in Virginia Beach, a lot of restaurants along the oceanfront are taking part in the Restaurant Week, and that's because they're in the off season. They want more people to come out, check out what they have. More than 60 restaurants in total are going to be a part of this Restaurant Week in Virginia Beach. It also runs until Sunday of this week. We stopped by the Belvedere South Coffee. Let me make sure I say that correctly. Belvedere South Coffee Shop and Diner. And this is what it looks like inside. They said that they have some really cool options for you to check out. And we talked with the manager.
I feel like we're a hidden gem. Nobody knows we're here. Monday through Friday, it's kind of quiet. It's the off season. So, we just wanted to showcase some of our specialties here. We have deviled eggs, chicken Benny, a couple of other things that for Restaurant Week that are different. We just wanted to get new faces in here. Yeah. Our motto here at the Belvedere is quality over quantity. We make sure that we put out good, whole, fresh food, and we take our time with it. Because our restaurant's so small, we don't have to rush we do rush, but, not as much as some restaurants may have to with a larger restaurant. There's only a certain amount of tables and seats in here, so I think that helps us out. We can take our time.
And that was the Belvedere South Coffee Shop and Diner inside of the Moxie Hotel along the Virginia Beach oceanfront. Just one of 60 restaurants that are going to offer some cool deals during Restaurant Week. Now, Restaurant Week in Virginia Beach runs until Sunday. If you live in a different city, like Portsmouth, for example, Restaurant Week is starting there on Friday, and it goes all the way until the end of January. So you have plenty of time to check out some of the restaurants over there. They're offering 2-course lunches for $15 or $20 and 3-course dinners from anywhere between $35 to $45. And so that is the Portsmouth Restaurant Week. And then Norfolk Restaurant Week starts next Monday. That goes until February 1st. So a little bit of everything. That's 4 different cities right there that you can get out and try some new restaurants. And then in February, I'll tell you about the restaurant weeks for that month.